All right, I'll just roll. Oh, hey there. I didn't see you guys. Welcome back to Real Talk. It's your boy Goaty, a.k.a. Mullet Jr., the better mullet, though. First of all, do us a favor. Hit us up on all of our socials at Real Talk WRT. So it's Real Talk with Ryland and Tate. Also, pause this video real quick. Like, comment, subscribe. And the boys are dropping some merch here in the next week or two, so get ready because it's going to be absolutely fire. And tonight we had two special guests on. Both of them are my old roommates, Buddy Floyd and Jack Gowen. Jack now plays for the Marlins. They both played baseball at UGA. Two studs. We talk everything from, spring break to World Series odds for people to win, draft with guys at the combine. Just everything with absolutely awesome stories. Jack and Buddy are two awesome guys, so tune in for this episode. It's one of our best ones yet.
That coach up in Athens got them boys playing pretty good ball. Anyway, I love you, son. Go Dogs.
But yeah,
Nice place.
awesome. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like in their downtown, but their downtown's like
I've never
a street
been.
corner.
I've heard about it.
It's awesome.
It was like what, a couple places?
There's 4 bars on each corner of the street. Like it's a 4-way stop. There's a bar on each corner. And it's kind of like a 30A vibe. Like everything's clean. It's like white wooden, like LED lights. It's pretty cool.
I'd like to go to school in Mississippi.
It's really cool, dude.
Seemed like a good
Flying in, I looked out the window. I was like, yeah, I'd like it here.
I'll tell you what, we went out there and we had a good time.
There's just a whole lot of nothing.
Whole lot of nothing. A couple golf courses in there. There's some good burger joints. The food out there is unbelievable.
So I was more worried about like the hunting aspect of it.
I'm sure you were, but
They got he plays football too. I think he might play tight end. They call him Mule. He's a
oh
baseball
yeah.
football guy.
Actually, so I actually got to like know him a little bit when I first got here because we were messaging about
Yeah.
like playing both, whatever. So like when I went out there, I was like, give me some
He
advice.
hit
like,
some
what to
donkey bombs here.
do.
He hit the hardest
he's-
ball I've ever seen him.
Yeah,
They
dude.
played
Well, it's because
here.
his swing is so long. Like when he
Oh
connects,
yeah,
like,
but
it's over.
you're a football player, and you can play baseball. Like it's got to be hard going back and forth. But then he just comes out there, and after a while, you run into one. I think he ran into one off Ben Harris, and it was probably a pretty good fastball too.
96 cent, 115
like-
back the other way.
Hey, heads up, Dixie! Watch out, Rankin.
Yeah, like
But that's what I was talking about. The hunting aspect out there. His like first NIL deal was like Hoyt Buddies or something. And he's on Instagram. He's like, thanks to the guys down here at Hoyt for getting me fixed up with this RX4. And he's like, come in and it's like a $1,100 bow. It's like,
just
dang
hand it
it,
to
That's the way to
should
go.
have went there.
Me and Kate have been trying to get Rita to send us shotguns.
Yeah, see, that's the kind of stuff that's big time stuff. I'm
I
lucky
want
to get,
Daniel
like,
to fence.
a
That's my
sticker
favorite.
for the back of my
some
truck.
Burla Bow shorts.
Yeah.
I'm unlucky.
Yeah.
I didn't write anything on the board, did I? I totally forgot to write it.
You look like a holding the mic kind of guy.
I was thinking.
Hold on, what is that supposed to
I don't
mean?
know, but you just look like you'd rather hold a mic.
All right, let me. Came prepared, but I didn't write it down.
Goaty's slacking.
Listen, you haven't been here in like a month. I don't want to hear it.
What are some of the
You just show up. This is
sponsorships that y'all could get taken?
Hold on, let's duel
DVD?
it. Let's duel this out. Don't crap on me for my preparation. You
Oh,
just
that's what I
you
tell
show up and
Everybody's
talk.
like, who are you having on this week? I'm like, I don't know. I just show up and talk.
Yep, there it is. Sorry, your personalities.
I don't text back.
All right, what were you saying? Sorry.
You just talking about retail. Y'all have any other guys that have reached out?
Dan Jackson has. Gunner has. We're trying to get Blake Rice to help us. Have you met Blake?
Who is that? I know that name.
He's TSS.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
follow
yeah, yeah.
Turkey guy.
Yeah, we went and hunted with him last spring.
Kay blew that thing up.
Dude, they were rolling.
He's done a great
I
job.
was talking
I
about his,
remember when I first saw it, like I was like one of the first like 4 followers, and I followed it, and I was like, dang, dude, that'd be a great idea. Like I would love to help out with that when I could. And so I DM'd him, and he was like, yeah, for sure, like that would be awesome. Love to have you on. And then we were during baseball season, and I was like, it'll be stretched, but like I'm sure I could get an off day sometime. He texted me like 10 times in a row, was like, can we go fish this? Can we go hunt that? And I just never could go. And I was like, yeah, I don't have the time for this. I didn't think it was going to be that big.
what's your favorite memory of playing Georgia baseball? Like, give me your funniest, just strict getting tossed, losing it.
Probably after
Tony
we-
Losi doing something nuts, like something.
I don't know. That freshman year team and the COVID year team, everything was fun. Like just watching all those big time guys play, sick.
Dudes.
Going to Mississippi State, even though we got swept. Like,
I forgot about
that's one of the
that.
only times we've ever gotten swept with a really good team. We go on the road Friday night, get beat like 22-6. And
That team was stupid.
It's
man.
like Friday night. It's like record-breaking attendance at the dude. It's like 16,000.
Pause
But-
real
go ahead.
quick, dude. Going out there and seeing that stadium. Oh,
It's
my
unbelievable.
God.
I was getting recruited when they were building it.
It's unbelievable. I went when I was like 10. My brother went to a showcase there. But we go Friday night. It's like record-breaking attendance, like 16,000. There's like 15 apartments in left field.
Yeah.
And they go straight up. They all have balconies. Every one of those is packed. So, like, I don't even know how many people are there. There's, like, grill sections. So, I mean, like, all those in the outfield are packed. Like I said, we get beat, like, 22-6 or something for whatever it was. And Jake Magnum, like, ties the hit record that night.
Everything's going
like,
on.
his lead off at bat, he, like, ties the hit record. So, it's crazy loud. And then Saturday, he leads the game off with a pop-up straight behind first. Broke the attendance record on Saturday after breaking it on Friday. Because we were like number 3 or number 4, and they were number 1 or number 2, I think. And so he pops the ball up behind first. Pat Sullivan, like, backpedaling back. LJ coming over from second. Riley King coming in from right. Pat falls, trips into LJ, ball drops fair. Jake Magnum standing up on second, and he broke the record with that one. So they go nuts. Banners fall off of like the outfield over the wall. It's like Magnum for mayor, 357 all-time like hits or whatever, and he rips the bag up out of the dirt, and he's like holding it up, and we're sitting there, and we're like.
Dude,
Place is a rough.
to open the game.
We ran like 4 pitchers down to the bullpen immediately. He's like, go, 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 go.
Oh, my gosh,
I
dude.
That was the opening of
There
that.
is.
Yeah, that was leadoff.
That is
pop up.
classic.
And it's like he like gets to take the base, like they give him the base, so he like jogs it to the dugout. They put a new base in. I mean, they gave him a standing ovation. His dad's like gets like panned up on the big board and stuff. Like it was wild. My freshman year, it was like my 5th inning all year, and
With a record attendance.
yeah, dude. So it's like 17-5 or whatever at this time. James Williams just threw like 65 pitches in 2 innings. And he comes down to the bullpen, and he's like, hey, kid. It's a lot of fun out there, right? Have fun out there. And I was like, I'm sitting there, and I was like, it did not look fun at all. I think I went in, I actually did 2 innings. I don't think I gave up a run, but I mean, I gave up some barrels that just got caught. And then I remember I come in at like stadium's playing, I got friends in low places. And I like step off the back of the mound. I'm looking up, and everybody's just standing up singing because it's a party at this point. They're up by 15 runs.
And they've been there for like 4 hours drinking.
I'm throwing, and I remember I got the 3rd out, and I almost just stayed on the mound. And then I was like, oh, I gotta get off this thing. Like I'm completely lost. Like the ground shaking. That place is nuts.
Dude, that is awesome. I can't wait. So we're going back out in 5 weeks for, they call it like Dog Day or whatever. So they have the spring football game, spring volleyball game. They play Ole Miss that evening in baseball, and they have Brett Eldridge is doing a concert on the field after the game. It's going to be a blast.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Playing Ole Miss there, that'll be cool.
It's going to be a blast. What about you,
It's kind of
bro?
how Baton Rouge. If it had been when we went to LSU, it was a pop-up story. We, I was playing third, Josh McAllister was at short, and Corey Acton was at second. And there was a big righty up. I can't remember his name. He was catching that game for LSU. And we were all shifted over on the third base side. So like on left field side, and ball goes straight into the air. And granted, this is like the 4th or 5th inning at this point. And I had already, I think I booted a ball in the first inning, like a slow roller. And then I think I dropped 2 going into the net, like in the tarp area, like later in the next inning. And then the next inning, it's sky-high pop-up, straight into the air. Mac goes, as soon as it's off the bat, Josh goes, ack. And I thought it was like he didn't see it. So me from third base, I'm drifting over, and nobody says anything. And I go, mine. And Matt goes, no. And I go, mine. And he goes, no, no, no. And I literally just keep going. Corey Acton never says anything. And by this point, I'm in center field from third base and just kept drifting. And literally, I'm like, I just got to catch this. I've already dropped 2. I missed a ground ball. Like, I got to catch it. Finally caught it. And then I look up, and I'm literally standing behind second base. And Act goes, what are we doing? And I was like, nobody said anything. He was like, look where you are.
Oh my
And I was like, I mean, yeah, you're
Matt
right,
just
dude, but I'm
puts
not
his
dropping
head
this
down
one.
and
You
walks
know, I
back.
literally just tossed the ball back to the pitcher, just walk all the way back to third base, and I look in the dugout and shook him like. And then we got in the
That place
dugout.
is
He, McAllister actually got chewed out. So, I kind of
nice.
caught a
Mac
break
took
there.
one for you.
Yeah.
Here's another
He didn't take it
State
for me. He just
story.
kind of got thrown under the bus for it. I wasn't saying anything, though.
Chaney Rodgers playing right. They hit a homer. Chaney goes back, lifts up, and like tries to rob it, and his glove comes off.
Oh gosh.
And we're like whatever home run guy jogs around, and we're watching the pitcher, and umpires are like looking out and right, and we look out and right, and Chaney's standing there with his hands on his hips, and like the people took his glove and wouldn't give it back. And so like his glove's being tossed around,
Dude,
like
that's
up on like where the grill porches are, and he's like looking at us, and like they took my glove. Like these guys are ruthless. Like
That's
not even
awesome.
let him play.
Speaking of Chaney, so he went to Gordon Lee.
Yeah.
I went to Darlington, and we were always like considered rivals. But when I tell you, I saw him obliterate our baseball team. Like I saw him obliterate our baseball team.
I'm
Like
glad
the
you said
year
it twice in a
after-
row.
The year after I quit, I think he went 3 for 3 with 3 bombs.
That doesn't surprise me.
I mean, just obliterated, and it was against our pitcher that was going to Tech.
They say that him and Tucker Bradley at 14 and 15 years old were like the number one players in the country. I'm like, how good can a 14-year-old be? And they're like, no, seriously, like anywhere they went.
I mean, when they were-
They
those are
played
those
for
guys.
the
Bandits.
because
They
for
played
the
Bandits, and then they went Georgia Jackets.
Georgia Jackets.
That's
yeah.
like for us. Remember when we were? Oh, was this when we were playing together? I can't remember. We went down to the Florida Georgia tournament. We were playing MVP, and they had that big old lefty that was just like a dude. Everybody
Me
knew
and
about
Dom
him.
were talking about the other night. It was Carmona. Or
Carmona.
something like that. He threw like 86 at 11 years old.
And
it
you're
was
like
what the heck
40
is
feet
going on?
away, and it's like, just,
Good luck.
That Gordon Lee team that he was on was disgusting.
We played them back to back for the state championship in 14 and 15, and then I lost in the Final Four 3 times in Gordon Lee,
really,
at Gordon Lee,
wow.
and that place gets wild.
Oh yeah, that place gets
When
crazy.
they came down to us to play, I was in 8th grade. They played us in the state championship. LJ was a sophomore.
He's getting hot right now.
Yeah, he's
Swinging.
2 hits in big league spring training and a bomb. Well, LJ's mom. So like Gordon Lee came down, and they put these like picket signs like Gordon Lee Trojan Country all over like our outfield and stuff, or like behind the fence.
That
and
sounds about right.
LJ's mom, like I guess pulling into the game, just got out and was picking up the signs and like throwing them, and actually got arrested for like destruction of property.
What?
And so then figured out, not arrested, like detained or whatever, and they figure out the whole commotion. This is before the game even starts. I mean, that game, like they hit a homer, would come out like to the first base line, their coach and our coach's face, finally beat them. They left the runner-up trophy there the second year. Like just got on the bus and left. But it was always a dogfight with them. And then we had to go to them my sophomore, junior, and senior year, and it was terrible.
I mean, we put that kid I was talking about, lefty went to Tech. He's just a sidearm. We all thought like
No shot.
he's
you
the
idiot.
dude, and like we put him on the mound to play them, and I kid you not, put 10 on him in 4 innings.
God.
We're all just
Never how
like
you-
we're all
that's
like
never how you chalk it
No,
up.
we
dude,
used to like
listen.
line up on our right field line, like back all our trucks up, and like if you were a right fielder, we gave you hell.
Yeah.
Like let you hear it, and it just got to the point where like. I got my truck and left. I was like, yeah, I'm done.
My
I'm going home.
playoff baseball experience was my junior year because I didn't play my senior year and then went to the Final Four, of course. My freshman, sophomore year didn't make it. Junior year we played
Didn't
Lassiter.
play your what year?
Senior year because I came here early because of my
really?
knee, which was so upsetting.
Yeah.
And we get to first round of the playoffs. We're the 4 seed. We were pretty decent. The guy we had, our number 1 guy was going to Liberty to play, and then our 2 guy plays quarterback at Coastal Carolina now. Both like 87 and 91, kind of just whatever, just with bangers. So we come into this series like we're gonna roll. We're at home. We're gonna roll. And we show up, and our Liberty guy gives up 8 in the first game, and 4 in the second, and we're like, well, game 2, here we go. Game 2, our Coastal guy comes out and he throws a little harder. He's probably 90-91, and we're like, all right, we got one more shot. Let's do it. 7 in the first, and we were just like, Well, let's pack it up, boys. We didn't want to finish the game. It was like, that's it. Brutal. All right.
Sometimes you just can't find outs. You just can't buy them.
And they were just finding barrels after barrels after barrels after barrels.
I remember was it Texas A&M last year?
Yeah.
They came here and they scored 12 runs with 2 outs.
We left the nicest kid in America, one of the hardest working guys, like never said a word, just come to practice every day, do exactly what he had to do, and get out of there. Nothing more, but
What year
nothing
was
less.
Last year.
Hank Bearden.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And, like, always pretty decent, good breaking ball,
Yeah.
decent fastball. I mean, that's what everybody else had. And we throw him in against Texas A&M. And it was during mop-up time. Like, we were just trying to get through the game, but they get, like, 12 hits in a row. And he hasn't gotten out. And we're all sitting there like, you got to get him out of there.
Dude.
And it's like we have 2 outs and, like, pop-up just barely finds the hole.
Oh.
Barrel, walk. And I'm like, this poor kid, dude. And finally, like, just leave him in there, finally get a pop-up. His ERA for the game was like a 70 or something. And that was a 20 game for them, too.
I think they scored 23.
Yeah. And it was like on Twitter, it was like Georgia's largest margin of defeat ever. Like, we did that like 4 times. But just
Yeah, we kept making history.
Hank
last
in
year.
there. Like, and I mean, you got 9 guys in the field. Somebody's going to find a ball. Like, you're going to pop up or hit one right at somebody. It can even be hit hard, but
Yeah.
we catch it.
Yeah.
You never think. And every time another guy
12 in a
come up,
row.
we were like, oh, come on, Hank. Got to get this guy here. Barrel. It's like, God. All right, next dude. And
Speaking of
it's hard to come back from that.
dude, speaking of barrels, old Tucker Bradley's having himself a little spring training too.
Tucker just hits, man.
Sneaky.
Just hits.
I mean, dude, he's gonna find a way to play 10 years in the league.
He will, just because he's always been a hitter. Tucker's all like hit it. He's hit at every level he's ever been at. Like it's
Well, it's like when he
Stupid
tore.
percent. He was free agent, wasn't he?
Yeah. COVID year, signed for like
Best,
minimum
best $8,000 they've ever
Yeah.
they've ever spent. Kids in big league spring training.
2 years later. He came back from his labrum surgery for the senior year, not like hitting it all and then rolls right into the season. Just I
he
mean,
had, what, 7 bombs through 3 weeks or something
Yeah.
like that.
COVID year.
He was hitting like
But
400.
one of the more impressive things is what we played. He broke it into third game that weekend, like on Sunday.
Yeah.
He had like 6 hits, like on the 3rd game of the season, and he's just a dog.
Dog. All right, boys, we're going to transition to one of our staples
Go ahead.
for the pod. We're going to do our fist pump feature of the week. Why are you laughing?
I don't think I have one.
Power clean one on your neck. That could be one.
That I like about walked out of the workout.
Yeah, you show Annabelle got a little action last night.
That's a steel bar.
What exactly?
Oh, we're going chipping?
You chipped one in.
It was our last set.
We chipped one in today.
I was
boys.
like, okay, like this is gonna be harder. I was like, okay, I'm actually gonna get this one up, and I like pull, and it goes a lot higher than I expected it to go, and I catch it right on my neck, and about like went backwards.
It's like me deadlifting last year. All right, story time real quick.
That
We'll
is
go to the
I
fist pump
remember
feature in a
sitting
week.
in the training room and just looking at our weight room, and Cody is laying on the ground.
Listen, let me backtrack. Okay, so this is yeah, this is 3 weeks before I'm supposed to propose, right?
Okay.
We're deadlifting, and they put the combos with the big boys. So I think it was like 600 pounds, 550, 600, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And it was for like the last set was like 1 set of 2, and this was like it was my last station of the workout. Like my body's exhausted. I get the first rep, beautiful. I'm like, all right, I got one more in me. I get halfway up, and I feel great, and just pop. And I just rolled back onto the ground and just couldn't move.
I get what you're saying now. When your stomach like come around your body.
Right.
Well, yeah. So like I had
His spine was like this.
dude.
Like,
It was like
I
that
was
for a
living
week.
with you. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh,
You
were
come
with me.
home and I was like, "What do you mean your body's warped?" Like pull the shirt.
Pull my
up.
shirt up, and it's like a curve.
Cody walked into our training room
No, hold on. Let me
completely bent over.
backtrack. I'm walking out. I'm getting assisted out. I'm getting carried out of the weight room
carried.
by 3 guys. I have my belt on, the weight belt. Sinclair walks right by me, doesn't say how you're all right. He goes, you gonna take that belt off now, or can I get it in a minute? And I was like, are you serious? The belt? I was like, I mean, you get it right now, sure, whatever. And yeah, I've had back problems ever since then. But the guys this spring, like I had like 10 guys text me, like, yeah, we deadlifted today, and I thought about you. I was like, I don't want to do this. And so some of the guys were raising hell because they didn't want to do what I did. But I couldn't like sleep.
Weight we pulled when that happened.
500 to 600, somewhere in between.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere like 600 range somewhere.
And it was the
It's
one.
respectable to tear something on that.
It was the one
Bro, I
day
thought
they
I told my
didn't put
whole body.
the blocks under the bar because
Yeah.
these
So you're going
bars
all
sit
the way
low.
down?
Yeah,
Do
Well,
y'all do is it straight bar?
it was.
this was trap. We started doing straight bar this year.
I mean, it sits up like this high.
Probably because of me.
And I mean, you being 6'4",
Oh, it's
6'5",
awful.
like it's
Oh.
awesome for y'all. But like being 5'11", 6 foot, and like getting to use those bars, you're like 500, yeah. And then you look at it, and you're like, damn, I barely even stood up.
like
right
that.
there.
That's like Kate doing it.
Like
Yeah.
when you grab the bar, you're like this, and then you're just
Boom. Dog. But,
watch a video. You're like, that's not a whole lot of depth there.
I'm hoping I get the pictures of this before this episode releases, since we're talking about weightlifting. But we're squatting really heavy this week. Like I think it
Did
was
you like
like
shit your pants or something?
it was close to 600. And I went my last set. I'm about to get under the bar, and I just see one of our camera people get in front of me. And I'm like, you were kidding me.
Yeah.
I don't even want to imagine what these pictures are going to look like of me. Like, I'm like fighting for my life trying to get this up on my last set. They're just sitting there just taking pictures of me.
Did you say shit your pants?
I was like, did you shit your pants or something? Oh, yeah. I saw you
There's
laugh.
somebody that
What? All right, story, go, man. We got a story, and then we'll get to
It was our freshman summer. We had just gotten to campus, and every Tuesday morning.
What an introduction.
We worked out every morning, 7 to 9 every morning, and it was Tuesday morning. We'd always run the mile.
And
That's how we
freshman
started.
summer with Garrett, it's like the.
It's tough.
Yeah,
it was
that's
tough. And,
the doozy.
So we go out there, we get stretched out, and he's like, "All right, go get out there. I'll be there in 2 minutes, and we're starting." And he literally, Gearhart himself was actually talking about a story where he had shit his pants, and spoke it into existence. So I'm sitting there, and sitting there doing some high knees. I think I've been over to like stretch out my hamstrings or something, and there it was. Just it hit the back of my underwear, and it's at this point it's
and you knew it was
6:55 in
over.
the morning, and we're about to run a mile, and we have to get 6-minute miles. So it was like, oh my god, here we go. I'm like, hey coach, can I go to the bathroom real quick? Ran in there, literally checked. It was just a crime scene. Like it was brutal. Like it was bad, and.
Came out and busted out a 5:15
Rinsed out
mile.
my underwear. I was like, they're about to get sweaty anyways. Rinsed them out, and went out there and ran a
You didn't
5:40
I was
miles
about to say. You
in
get a
shitty pants, and went through my
shitty
workout.
hands
It
if
felt
you
like
start-
shit all day.
God.
That sounds awful.
It was awful.
Man.
It was definitely the
Just
worst
got your
workout.
last
I've been
lap,
through.
just
Well,
run
first off,
straight on
someone
into the
told me I
locker
had to
room.
make a 6-minute mile. I'm done. It's not
I
happening.
couldn't make an
They
8-minute
want
mile
you
right
to,
now.
but I mean, in the
Will
5
Childers
to
never-
4
never
that I ran,
cracked.
well, if you don't make it, you do have to run it again. So
If
in
you
the
start thinking
6 or
about it-
7 that I've ran, I mean, it's not even close.
If you start thinking about the best players to ever come through here,
Never made
didn't
it.
even sniff 6
I remember a
minutes. Not
freshman
even
year,
close.
I think the world of Tucker and Mason, and Mason's a specimen. And the worst thing is the pitchers had to watch the position players run it first. And so, like, I'm asking people for months, like, hey, how bad is this
Advice,
mile?
like you're just trying to feel
How
it out.
bad is this mile?
Yeah.
Because we don't practice for it. Like, we
Yeah.
run it as a freshman, but, like, when it's time to go, you just run it. And I'm
You
like,
learn
how do
halfway
you...
through if you pace
I
yourself
mean, half
right
the
or not.
team's coming
And
back
so-
from the Summer Bowl.
So
and
they're
they
like,
hadn't
the
ran,
best
worked
advice is
out.
like, just pick somebody and like keep up with them. And I'm like, what does that
is-
mean?
yeah, what?
Like, and so anyway, so we're watching them run it. First lap, Tucker Bradley comes by, shirts off, and he's like moaning and grunting. And I remember I was looking at him and I was like, Mason comes behind him. I mean, these guys are 200 yards behind people. Mason comes by behind him. Like, it's not even a run anymore. It's like a waddle, head back.
First
He's like,
laugh.
they make it like 7:50, 8 minutes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, those guys are in pretty good shape.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. Golly, I cannot imagine running a mile right now.
That's over, though. They'll never do that one again.
Nope. Especially not Mason. Definitely not. That boy's living the grown-up life. All right. Fist pump, feature of the week. Favorite point in the
putter?
week that was just something good that happened. Fist pump worthy.
That's not a putter.
Yeah, I didn't need a putter. I chipped in. You go first? Since you want to.
No, y'all go first. I gotta think hard about this one.
Is this something that you did good or something that was good for
Just
you?
something that, like, fired you up during the week. That was like, let's go.
I mean, 4 6 a.m.s was a rough week.
Plus a front squat tomorrow. Have fun. All right. I'll go with mine first. Spring break starts tomorrow. Driving to the beach. It's going to be a heck of a week for the boys.
It's going to be a blast. Where y'all going?
Santa Rosa.
That'll be a blast.
Shoot. You're leaving Sunday, but you should take off work for a week. Come
I'm
down.
going,
Dom's coming.
I'm leaving tomorrow to go to Tampa. We're getting on a boat. We're going on a
Is that
cruise.
tomorrow?
Well, we leave like 2 a.m. Saturday.
Dog, that's right. You told me about that. Oh,
Looking forward
That's
to
gonna
that.
be
You gotta be on the boat at what,
blast.
12 p.m. or something?
Yeah. And then
who's all going?
pretty much our whole house and a couple buddies from high school.
That's so awesome. Oh, that's going to be a movie.
Max and Stutzer and all them are in there.
That's going to be a movie.
Be a good time.
Speaking of Max, we're going to come back to some DP stories here in a minute. I got a great one. Tate?
I'd probably say I got to class about 30 minutes early because I thought it started earlier than it did. And sitting in my truck, I knocked out. Like, took a solid 30-minute nap just in my truck like this. Carson Beck comes up to my door. He's like, we have class together. He's like knocking on my window. I'm like, oh, like, wake up. He's like, class starts in like 2 minutes. You can get out of your truck. I was like, yeah, let me do that.
I thought you were going to say he came back after class and was like, yo, you missed the whole
I
thing.
wish he would have.
Good for you for going to class. I'm proud of you.
I'm just a
2 minute
academic
wake up.
weapon,
2 minute wake up. That's a fist bump.
You're a student first.
Yeah.
some would say.
It's a student athlete kind of deal.
Student first, baby.
I'm just a student. I wouldn't even consider myself an
Speaking
athlete
of
at this
student,
point.
I'm a student at West Georgia, March 6th.
What?
Me and that pre-calc going round and round again, baby.
Dude, pre-calc ain't no joke.
Number four. Number four.
Freshman year, there wasn't a chance. Took it again last year. I mean, I'm telling you this. After you haven't had math in a long time, you look at math again, you're like,
Foreign language.
I knew within the first week. I'll be honest here. Knew within the first week, I was like, this is going to be tough to get through this.
I haven't
Like,
taken a math since my senior year of high school. I'm about to take accounting this summer.
Yeah. So took it again last semester, or 2 semesters ago in person. So it's 2 here. Took it online this summer, and we went to the regional. And so the class, I knew that the class had started, but I was like, I'm not going to worry about this.
Oh, I remember this.
During the regional, like, we'll figure it out. Right after the regional, when we got beat out, we go down to Destin for 6 or 7 days. Not going to worry about it in Destin either.
shot.
So I log on, and it's like, due to inactivity and the 10 days of no logins, you have been withdrawn from this class. And I was like, oh my gosh, dude, that's like $900 that I had to pay. And I just like had to tell Dad, like, yeah, dude, it's just, I don't know, man. I think I made like a 68. Like I was right there, man. It's just online.
Teacher wouldn't round me up.
Yeah, and so now I'm taking it at West Georgia March 6th. That's the only 3 hours that I'm lacking to graduate, and I'm
Get her done,
I'm good
baby.
to go.
Heck
I got to
yeah.
find somebody to get her done for sure. I'm going to spring training, and I'm trying
Yeah,
to play
you
baseball.
got
No way
a
I
job
can do
now,
that.
brother. Yeah. God, that sounds awful. So what's the fist pump? Is it,
I would probably say just last week
Yeah.
being here,
yeah?
because you know how it is. Like you're always playing sports in high school, practices, class. You got everything else, so like you always have something to do. Come here and it's even worse, and then like you just have no free time. You're on a schedule all the time, having something to do. You get this 5-month off season, and I was like, at the beginning, I was like, I'm not gonna get a job. Like, I'll just throw and lift. You throw and lift for 5 months. There's a lot of free time
Lot
to
of free
just
time.
do this exactly. So I would probably just say just like being a couple days out from going down and getting
Get
your
the
crunk
juices
back up,
flowing. It's exciting.
play again.
We got a little fight going on out there or something?
Yeah, what you were just saying about it being
5 bar got wild.
Yeah.
Let's bang bang shrimp. We're banging,
about
which they are, by the way.
what you were saying about how it gets worse when you get here. I had an early enrollee come up to me the other day. He said, "I see why people hate it here." I was like, "You have been here for 3 weeks." I was
you
like,
don't-
"I
you don't
do-
get to say
I
that.
was like, "You can't say that yet."
One of the tight ends came up to me and was like, dude, I'm tired, man. I'm like, boy, he's like, I'm hurting.
I
Like,
guarantee you, I can guess which one it is.
yeah, I know you know, guess which one it is, but don't say his name. I feel like we just got done with the natty.
I feel like I just got injured yesterday. Like this past 2 years have flown by.
These past 4 years have flown by.
When y'all start spring football?
Tuesday after spring break.
So
We're going to come back and have our first practice. It's just going to be a bad
that
deal.
makes me want to throw up thinking about it. That's what I'm excited for is like these next like 8 weeks. I don't have to like I'm just continue lifting. I don't have to worry about hitting. Oh, it makes me want to throw up.
Not like
thinking
you hit
about
anybody anyways.
Huh?
Nothing.
What a jab.
This guy, what an idiot! Like doesn't show up for 2 weeks on the podcast. Thinks he should come in here and say
I
whatever he
had
wants.
prior obligations.
Yeah,
Hit Aldean concert tickets.
yeah.
Stacey
Couple other things
Stacey
about him.
Searles had us over to his house to eat, and I couldn't turn Miss Trisha down.
She is the best.
She's a goat.
She is the goat.
She brings every Friday. We got our room raided because she brings us snacks and stuff. Like she brought us buffalo chicken dip one day. She like plugged the crock pot in the offensive line room. Like all the skill players like trying to get in our room. We're all like sitting in our door like shoving them out.
Get out of here. It's not for you.
What we're gonna kind of transition back to what we were talking about with Max, who was our old roommate, still roommates with him. Me, him, and Max and Dom grew up playing baseball together.
Max.
Prago, 6'3". Shout out 6'3". Charlie Condon, absolutely hitting bombs right now.
He's raking.
I don't
Top
know if
7
you've
in the
seen
nation.
it. We've played 2 weekends. After on Sunday, they post the highest exit
Him
velocities.
every time. The whole page is him.
He'll
every time.
have like 4 over 110, and like he might not even have a hit.
Yeah. Back to Max, Dom, you and me playing baseball. Give me your favorite DP story from growing up playing ball. You want time to think?
I don't even know what. I know exactly which one it is. It's
DP Danny
we
probably.
were
Danny
playing.
Prager, yeah.
We were playing the Astros, and we were I don't know, 11 or 12. One of the two.
Is
It
this
was
the
really
is,
young?
is this
with-
the Lobos story? No,
Lobos,
that's what I was
yes.
gonna say. Ah,
And we
all right.
know, as you're young, you get the pitch call to the catcher from the dugout with the coach sitting on the bucket, right? That whole deal. And we're sitting there, and they're trying to pick our pitches at 11 years old or something like that, trying to steal our signs. And so,
That's
DP.
advanced baseball.
Yeah, no doubt.
And meanwhile, like DP left East Cobb, like there was just some bad blood there
And
between
so
him. And,
pretty much, DP goes. He goes. You know what? All right, man. I'll just tell you what I'm going to throw. And he starts giving just signs between his legs. But like if he gives fastball, he pretty much just flips a bird at him. every time.
I was catching this day.
And so he would
It was
just like
insane.
you see that fastball 6 inches off the plate or something like that. And finally, he Lobos, the other coach called time and was like, "It's like Danny, really, man? Are we really gonna do this?" It's like I don't know. You're stealing signs in an 11U baseball game. Like, come on, man, grow up. And he said something back, and DP looked at him and goes, "Well, you know what? I'm just glad my bucket can hold me a little better than your bucket can hold you because that bucket is struggling."
Big guy over there.
Yeah, big guy.
That's
And
hilarious.
Everybody was
What a
just kind of
chirp.
like, it's.
And during that time of him like calling out the sign, just saying it out loud, he was like, "Hey, Lobos, fastball," and they would just give it to us. It was absolutely electric.
Oh yeah, we had some bad shit coaches when we played travel ball at a young age.
They just got into it.
Our
That
catcher
travel
kept
ball
messing
world.
up signs. Like we're getting our signs wrong, and I was pitching. I was throwing what he's telling me to throw. He calls time. Comes out of the mound. I'm like 12. He's like, "Tell you, what the are you throwing?" I'm like, what he's telling me to throw. He goes to our catcher and starts ripping him one at home plate. And I'm just sitting there, all of our parents are sitting there like, what's going on?
I will say Danny Prague was probably my favorite baseball coach I've ever
You used to
played
get
for.
behind the dish.
He was awesome.
Oh yeah, I used to catch my big old boy. Would get on down there and catch.
I thought it was like
awful.
nice throwing to Corey Collins because like he's so big, but I mean I bet you stand like this
Hasn't
tall next to him.
Corey hit 3 home runs so far?
Yeah,
4.
yeah.
Him and Parks
Parks is
both
at
got
5.
My heart goes
Parks is
out.
at 5.
My heart goes out to catchers.
Well, Corey don't want to catch.
My
the
heart
Parks
goes
anymore.
out to catchers when we had the games that we've had in the last couple of years. Like those innings, Nando just comes in and he'll just come up to you and put his head on your shoulder and be like, "I don't know if I can keep doing these." You're like, "Come on, Nando, one more." He's like, "Well, I'll probably get a break on Tuesday. Playing Kennesaw on Tuesday. Get back there for 9 more, Nando."
I don't know how their knees take it.
Oh man.
I never knew that using the knee savers were like a no-no.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's a no-no.
Because
Yeah.
I remember the first time that I borrowed a pair of knee savers, which was probably 7th, 8th grade. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little pad.
Oh,
always
our-
never had them. My brother caught, so none of our gear ever had it. Remember I borrowed somebody's just to catch an inning in a middle school game or something, and I'm sitting on the knee savers, and I'm like, wow, these are amazing.
Comfy.
And so then, like, high school ball, I believe we even had them, and then I tried to say something to somebody about them one time, and they were like, basically, just like, it's a tampon, pretty much. And I was
Yeah.
like, my bad, guys. I don't
That's
catch.
good, Tater. My dude, travel ball growing up was so much fun. I look back on it though, and I don't miss 4 games a day. Like I don't know how we did that.
Yeah,
I
that
remember-
was,
But-
that was crazy.
The worst tournament we ever played in. It was the most unorganized tournament we ever played in. It was Saturday. It was a 2-day tournament. We got in the losers bracket first game.
Coming
played-
in the loser bracket.
We played 9 games in a row.
Yeah.
Played in the championship game at 2:30 in the morning.
It was always cooler the later it got. Like when you were young.
Dude.
Oh yeah, it
you
was
were like-
2:30 in the
yeah,
morning.
It was
and we're
like
all
midnight
just
the other night
wired.
when we started.
I got 2 stories. You ready for this? So Cooperstown, 2010, 10-year year. You weren't on the team.
I
It was the
can't
next year,
remember.
right?
I'm so
Yeah.
glad we never went to Cooperstown.
So we get up there. We're the second seed out of pool play, and massive rainstorm just comes through after the first round of bracket play. Just massive. And so we got a bye because we were the second seed. So we were in like the Sweet 16 at that point, and like the delayed for just like 8 hours. So our Sweet 16 game kicks off it was like 1:30 in the morning. It's foggy, lights are on. We win. We go back, get like 3 hours of sleep, wake up, play the next game at 8 a.m. Elite 8, win, play at like 10:30, win, play at 1:30, win, go back to the little club, like the
The barracks.
the barracks they had for us, and we all take like a 2-hour nap. We wake up, closing ceremonies is going on, but the 2 championship teams are just chilling. We go out and play wiffle ball in the rain because it's raining again.
on the
that evening.
hills.
Yeah. So we just played wiffle ball for like 2 hours. Go back in, get ready to play again. Go play the championship at like 8. It gets delayed to like midnight again in the like awesome stadium. People
Yeah.
are staying. Like,
There
it
was always
electric.
late games.
Oh, dude, it was
But
awesome.
you had to get them in because I mean,
You
that
had
many
to.
teams, if you screw it up, like those kids might not get to play for 2 days.
Done for.
Everywhere you go, you meet somebody that plays travel ball. Like it's a 90% chance they went to Cooperstown.
Mm-hmm.
That place was awesome.
We never went to Cooperstown. We always went to either PCB and we played a tournament in West Palm. That was like our big tournaments that
Big
we
one.
went to.
Yeah.
How'd
I'll
y'all
never
do?
forget. We won. Fire and Flavor is a local Athens company that loves supporting the dogs. Founded by UGA alumni Davis and Jenna Knox, this company is your go-to resource for all things grilling. They got dry rubs, barbecue pellets, charcoal, and the new and innovative Hero Portable Grill. Fire and Flavor gets it done. And find their products at fireandflavor.com or at your local Striplings, Publix, or Lowe's Home Improvement. Use their code TAILGATE, that's TAILGATE, for 25% off on their website. Again, their website is fireandflavor.com. Use the code TAILGATE for 25% off.
In Cooperstown?
Cooperstown?
I wasn't on that.
I threw a
I
no-no in
won.
the championship game.
Get out of here,
Yeah.
Ryland.
And he pulled me
who
the 5th
caught?
inning.
You know who caught? Max.
Max?
Yep.
You guys hoisted the trophy?
Dom won the fastest man around the bases.
I did the
And
golden
he
arm.
fell.
It was pretty much like because my dad was like a halfway coach. Like we had a kid that was unbelievably hands down should have done it, but like I remember I told my dad like 5 times that day I wanted to compete in something and like I wanted to be something. And he's like, "You'll do the around the horn with the rest of the team." I was like, "No, man, like I've got to throw." And so finally, like it was like right before the event, my dad told the other kid to sit down, just complete daddy ball move. And so like I get out there and I'm like, yeah. And like the goal was like to hit the target behind
Yeah.
home plate from center. The way to go about it was probably to bounce it. I was like, you only get 3 throws or something. I was like, I'm gonna throw all these in the air. And like I bang all 3 off the backstop. And then it was like, it's over that quick. I mean, you throw your
Oh,
3
dude.
balls and you get out of there.
You're done.
And then I was like, walk back over, and my teammates were like, I was like, what do you mean, guy? I mean, 150 yards out there.
I get out there. I did
Just
the home
launching
run.
it out.
I did the home run derby. I don't even think I touched a single ball. Like I went out there for like you get like 6 or 7 swings.
Yeah. Mhm.
I think I whiffed all 6 or 7 swings.
I think the peak of my athletic career was winning the home run derby in PCB when we went.
We
your
didn't.
big body swinging like that.
The Charlton County Sand Gnats did not have a good showing.
Saying that.
Saying that's
You were not the saying that.
Yeah,
that's electric.
that's us. Like that's the local like. There's still
That's the
Sand
ball
Nat
club.
teams in,
Yeah,
around.
Where's
around
the,
South
who were the
Florida.
Tomahawks?
The what?
That was our local team, like our travel ball team, the Tomahawks.
So I threw
Tomahawks.
3 balls off the backstop. We had a kid from Douglas hit in the home run derby. He was like 6'5", we were like 12. We thought he was for sure going to win. Same kind of deal. Pulled every ball, like rolled over to third. We do the around the horn, and it was like they stopped the timer because like catcher pops up, throws it to left field, throws it to right field. I mean, like the ball was like rolling around, and then I think Randon actually won the
That don't surprise me one bit.
the Roadrunner.
I got a funny tournament story. So we were playing in the Florida-Georgia Showdown. Were you there for this? The Willie when there were balls in the outfield? This might have been 10U.
I think it was 10.
So there's a Florida-Georgia Showdown from like 10 to 12 years old, and it's like 4 or 5 of the best teams in Georgia, and it's 4 best teams, whatever, it's all relative, to the best teams in Florida. And we go down there, and we had this trick play where if there was a crucial part in the game and there was a guy on second, it could have been second or second and third, the pitcher would jump, fake throw the ball on a pickoff move. Everybody would dive. The outfielders get going crazy. Everybody's like, go get it, go get it. And they run on a second. Hopefully the commotion is so loud that he's just like takes a step off the bag, the pitcher goes and tags him. So we're up like 5-4, bottom of the 6th, guy on second and third. And he's like, Willie, to your left. We don't have anybody on our team named Willie, but that's the code name. Or it was. It's different for whatever. But Willie, to your left. And we're like, oh, shit, this is on. Let's freaking go. Even our parents like knew what it was.
All
So
9
everybody
kids are in there smiling. They're like,
well, it's like,
hey, guys, he said Willie.
yeah,
Willie's
it's like,
on.
Willie. Everybody gets
Base
off the bench
runner's
and
like-
locks in on the fence. Like, you just,
Like, oh, where'd you guys come from?
Base runner's like, just stay on the base, kid. Dang it, we'll do Willie next time.
so,
That's hilarious.
yeah, so whatever calls it, comes set, looks back, does it. Everybody goes absolutely berserk. And we're playing a team from like Miami, and the coach is yelling in Spanish, like telling them to stay on the base, and the kid's just like, and so whoever was our pitcher went and tagged him. And
Oh, Willie worked.
yeah, so it worked to win the
got
game. To win the game. Meanwhile, pre-game, everybody goes out and throws balls and stuff, and you hit ground balls in the outfield. Well, we left like 4 balls on the fence, and so we do it, and the
Willie
runner
balls.
looks out there, and there's like 4 balls out there, and he's like,
So y'all really
whatever.
tricked him.
Yeah,
Y'all
and so-
playing this in the
dude,
y'all playing this in the pregame.
and so like,
Always throw a ball to center and just leave it.
their parents are yelling in Spanish, just going crazy. Our parents are yelling at them, and we're just like, sorry.
There's nothing like
Ball
a
game.
good parent
Oh,
travel ball
dude.
fight.
Dude.
That sounds great.
You get parents going out in the stands. and
Oh
it's
my
electric.
God. My favorite travel ball memory is actually, we were like 13U, and I like threw hard for our age at that time.
I'm sure you did.
But I was like,
You don't say.
I was also in that stage where I was like kind of all over the place. And there's this team that was playing up, and they were young. Like I think they were playing like 2 years up. First pitch I throw, hit the kid right in the ear hole. When I
I
tell
got a
you,
couple of those stories.
when I tell you that the rest of this team would not get in the box, they like every time I went to throw a pitch, they bailed out. I was literally just throwing softballs in there. They were just leaving the box.
And wanted nothing to do.
Who was it? We played Columbus State. It was like
That was
a
my
scrimmage.
freshman year, yeah.
It was like the first year scrimmage for you. For here
I
for that
wasn't
one.
there for that, no.
We play Columbus State. Like
Wait,
all
yes,
the
I was.
pitchers just
Yes,
get like 1 inning. I get my inning. I go like walk. Kid squares the bunt to move him around, like squares early. I hit this kid directly in the chest. Like, I mean, he like goes like this, but I mean, just square him up in the sternum. And I was like, there was a spurt there where I was like 2, 3, up to 4, like pretty regular. So I remember I looked back and checked. It was like 93-7 or something. I hit this kid in the chest, and like everybody's like, ooh. And I'm like, oh my God, this kid's dead. And I look down at the ground, and I look up, and like he popped right up and he's jogging.
Ooh, what a
And I like
dog.
put my hands on his hips, like look at first. I was like, whatever, get the ball back. Next pitch, kid like checks, swings, comes around, decides not to, square him up, like dead middle
Just-
chest. And Coach Strickland like steps out on top of the steps, and he's like, come on, Jack, come on. And I'm like, dude, I'm not doing this on purpose. Same thing though, like, ooh, and like now I'm like this nervous, and saying like I'm oh my God, no way, that just happened again. I look up, kid's jogging to first, and I was like, I mean, if I'm going to hit you in the chest, like at least
that kind of hit your
at least
ego a
stay
little bit.
down there a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hitting these kids just as hard as I can throw it. I mean, there's no pad or anything. There's right back up at first. Yeah, now I got no outs and the bases loaded, and there's no shot. I throw this one for a strike. I mean, yeah. Then
Oh,
we
that's
played-
classic.
We
I
were
would've
just
tried
in
to
an
make
inner
the
squad one
argument
time,
you
and I hit Josh McAllister
Right
in
on
the
the
G. And, like, he never moved. Like, he's just like this. I have multiple videos. It's the loudest, like,
I'm sure it's in
clack ever. And Josh is just looking at me. It's fastball. And he never moved. It hit him directly, like, in the G of the helmet. And he drops down. We were roommates. And I was like, oh, my God, I just killed my roommate. And so he gets back up, goes in the dugout, and I come over and ask him. I was like, dude, why didn't you move, like, at all? He's like, I don't know, man. I thought it was a curveball. And I was like, how? Like, I mean, we're talking if we're an inch and a half lower, like, I mean,
Dude's gone.
It's over.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is classic. Oh. Bobby, hit us with some. Come over here and hit us with some of the topics we're going to hit. Let's go World Series first.
All right, so obviously, Jack, you play for the Marlins, correct? But we're going to do World Series odds. Who do you guys think? I'm going to go down the list and read who we got for, like, best odds to win.
Yeah.
And I want okay, anyone besides the Marlins, granted, they're not.
off the table for all of us.
They're probably off the table.
Yeah,
Anyways.
yeah.
I don't even watch baseball anymore, so.
Probably not going to win the World Series anyways.
That's what I said. I said they're probably off the table.
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah.
I mean,
Regardless, but so
Let's go get
Astros, Astros have their current odds are plus 650, Mets plus 750, Yankees plus 750, Dodgers plus 750, Braves plus 1,000, Padres plus 1,000, and then the Phillies and Blue Jays follow them up with plus 1,400.
you go Mets.
I mean, I wouldn't know anything about this, but the Braves value at plus 1,000. That's some daggone value right there, boys.
Yeah, I like that. I like those odds. Did the Mets have what? DeGrom?
I saw where the Braves were projected to win the most games in the MLB this year.
The Mets have
you see that?
DeGrom,
Mets don't have DeGrom anymore. Mets
Verlander.
DeGrom's with Rangers.
Oh yeah, he just went. That's right.
Mets
They
did get
the Mets
Verlander
have
though.
Dylan Ross though, so
They got Scherzer too, don't
so you can't take that. That's face value.
they? I'm going Bravos. I mean,
I'm trying to think of young players.
I mean,
Brewers got Chili Wilders,
Chili
Chili
Wilders.
Wilders, Wilkie, Matthew.
I mean, the Braves got Acton, so you got to go the Bravos.
Cubs got Marshall.
Dude, out of the pen.
Actually,
I mean, the fact that the Braves are plus 1,000 absolutely rocks my world.
it's just so much value.
Who was ahead of them again? Sorry, just yell it.
Astros plus 650, Mets plus 750, Yankees plus 750, Dodgers plus 750.
Stros are the favorites?
Yeah, well, I mean, they won last year.
Yeah, but like,
And then the Phillies, who were in the World Series this past year, plus 1,400.
the Phillies have two young guys, Andrew Painter and Garrett something. He's a pitcher from Virginia Tech. They're unreal right now in spring training.
I bet.
And, I mean, like you said, they were obviously good last year.
They're going to be good.
They're going to
again.
be nasty. And
The NL East could be absolutely gross.
It should be. I mean, it usually is.
Yeah. Old Bravos opening up in Philadelphia will be awesome. That'll be a
yeah, I
heck
mean,
of
the
a
Braves
series.
with everybody they have.
I think, Tate, you can go last since you don't really know much about baseball or follow baseball much.
The only baseball I follow is the show. Does anybody here play the show?
Yes. When we lived together, it was us two, Chili, and then two of his buddies.
Do you know how many controllers I broke last year playing that game? 3.
Get sponsored by PS5.
I need it.
I need it too.
I mean, I'm setting the over under at 3 this year. I'm taking the over. That game pisses me off more than any other game I play.
Didn't
All right.
Trey Turner go to the Phillies? Isn't he on the Phillies now? Oh. So I mean, they're gonna be sneaky.
Whoever wins the NL East is winning the World Series. My take.
They're gonna make a run. They should. If you make it through that, then
Okay, go. World Series pick.
going with the Braves just because I'm a Braves fan. I don't really care. But Braves.
I mean, I'd love to go Braves, but if I had to choose somebody, I'd go Phillies because they lost
Yeah, I like
this
Phillies.
past year.
Everybody hates Bryce Harper, but
I
Dude.
love
big
Bryce
fan.
Harper.
I'm a big
I
fan.
love Bryce
Schwarber,
Harper.
I gotta go
Harper,
Phillies
Rhys
too, dude.
Hoskins.
NL East is gonna be hot. I'm going Phillies, Braves second. Nationals might finish last in the entire MLB. Let's go Mets third, Marlins fourth.
We're the Yankees.
It's gonna be an NL team that wins it. It'll be Yankees versus
The Yankees will not win.
And the Dodgers. We're just
nah.
Dodgers powerhouse, man.
Yeah, but no.
baseball's really good. I mean, there are
The
so
NL
many guys.
The NL is like the West of the NBA, in my opinion. The West of the NBA is loaded, and the NL is loaded.
There's so much talent everywhere.
I'm trying to think of who
It's
else
so
could
hard
be.
to tell. I mean,
Yeah, so Braves, Phillies.
That hurts to hear.
Who you got?
Well, as an Atlanta Braves fan my entire life,
Yep.
the Atlanta Braves. Now, I would never say the Philadelphia Phillies ever. I'm an absolute Phillies hater. Hate Bryce Harper
Because he's good.
Why do you hate Bryce Harper?
Because he's good.
because when he played for the Nationals and he was walking around home plate
Because he's good and he knows it?
no he kicked our A behind the plate and like stomped on it.
That's some shit I would do. I love it. I love it.
It made me mad. I'm not even gonna lie. I also hate Rhys Hoskins because he absolutely bat spiked on us in the playoffs this year when we played them in the NL was it CS? I don't think it was.
Oh, it was
I
D.
think it was
It was
NLDS.
DS.
We lost in NLDS because the Phillies
right,
played
'cause they went on to play
Yeah.
the.
Did they play the Dodgers? Yeah. So he bat spiked on us, and I'm like, okay, that makes me mad. So,
About
anyways,
Alec Baum.
I couldn't care less about that guy. He's terrible.
When
Yeah,
was
he
it
did.
that he had like 3 throwing errors in one inning?
Is that when he said, "I hate this place"?
Yeah,
Yeah, he tweeted. Where were they at?
they were booing
They're
him.
at home.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Phillies
right.
fans were booing
That's
him.
right, because he had to come back out with an apology and like tell him how much he appreciated the Philadelphia fans. But he's like, gets on Twitter, gosh, sometimes like tonight, I really hate this place. You got a city paying somebody millions of dollars to play baseball, and you just boom.
All right, boys. Oh, how about real quick while we're on that topic? How about Dansby's comments? Did y'all see that? Dansby had an interview and said he was excited to be in Chicago because they're a city that really cares about their baseball.
Oh, I did see that.
As we're in Atlanta, it's just kind of there.
He did not say that, did he?
Oh, he said it.
Yeah. Don't quote me, but that was the gist of it.
Is
Yeah, that
that
was-
true?
Dansby your most hated guy now?
No, I mean, but like, would you feel that way about Atlanta?
No chance.
There's no way, dude. I mean, the battery in Truist has been electric the past
The
2 seasons.
Braves set the
We won a
their
World
franchise
Series.
record for the
Yeah,
most revenue brought in this year.
I'm in our sports finance class. We talked about that the other day. About how much like that stadium is full.
Everybody feeds the battery, just feeds it.
Those games are
Everybody loves the
sweet.
battery, and it goes right.
When you can. No, not at all. Not even close.
They wish.
I've actually never been. I've never even seen the stadium. So I don't have to.
We gotta talk about this real quick. When you showed up and your nameplate was on top of your locker, tell that story.
So I get drafted, like get a call from this random guy. Hey, congratulations, glad to have you. Can you fly out from Atlanta at 9 a.m.? And I'm in like South Georgia. We're 5 hours from Athens. I have everything in my house still, clothes. Like I packed a weekend bag. I got clothes, like everything I have to move out, and I'm like, I guess I could drive back to Athens and like pack up my stuff. And they're like, yeah, just pack like whatever you need for like 10 weeks. And I was like, okay, like, I can do that. So I drive to Athens, get here at like midnight, pack just clothes, was gonna fly out of Atlanta. They call me at like 12:45 that night when I get here, and they're like, hey man, don't worry about it. We're actually like having some troubles like with paperwork and stuff. Like probably be a couple of days. And I was like, okay, well if it's gonna be a couple of days, like I'm just gonna drive, because I mean from my house in South Georgia is only I don't know, like 4.5 hours. But anyway, so it's just super hectic, going back and forth. Then I'm sitting for like 3 days. Get down there, get checked into the hotel, meet my roommate and everything, and go in the locker room the next day, and like they're assigning us like where our stuff is, showing us everything. Walk up to my nameplate and my jersey, GOWAN, and my name spelled with an E.
I remember seeing your
And I was
story
like,
about that.
I was like, here we go, baby. Welcome to Pro Bowl. And like, I remember I told a couple guys, and they were like, aren't you gonna say something about that? Are you gonna get that fixed? And I was like, are you kidding me? Absolutely not. Like, you want me to show up on the first day and be like, hey, fix this, you know, like I need this, I need that. I also have like a medium jersey. And so it's unbelievably hot down there and humid. So like, you know, like regular size jersey is going to stick to you anyways. That medium, baby, ooh. And so that's where I drew the line. Like after my second appearance of like wondering if I'm looking like a busted can of biscuits, I'm like, hey, you know, like if it's bothering me out there, like when I'm pitching, I got to say something. So I go into the guy, I'm like, hey, is there a chance like I could possibly get a XL jersey? I think you guys like gave me a large, but it's super small. And he's like, and I was like, I didn't think it'd be a big deal. He's like, gosh, dude, I got to take the number off. I got to take the name off. Are you sure? And I was like, well, if you're going to take the name off, do you think we can spell it right? And he's like, is it not right? And I was like, no, it's spelled with an A. And he was like, what do you spell it with? Who are you? And so, I mean, like, these guys have no clue who you are anyway. So, like, get through that. Even on my paperwork, like, signing everything, like, I had to cross out A's and put E's just so I make sure that it's a tough deal. But I never said anything about the nameplate. I actually kept it. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. I don't need that. I'll get it out in the mud.
Do you know who his roommate ended up being? Brett Roberts.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, Brett's the man.
There's just no way I could do anything productive in the city of Miami.
You don't really get a choice.
After our win.
I mean, I feel like it's just too easy to get in trouble down there.
That's probably right.
That we saw each other down there
Yeah.
that night.
Yeah, we walked around everywhere, and then
Yeah,
it was like everything was closed.
Yeah, you would think the city of Miami on New Year's Eve is not closing.
Yeah, it was like 3 a.m. and like we were going to this place, and well, we showed up at the hotel, got you, walked with a couple guys, start walking and see all these people like walking back, and we're like, hey, where's everybody going? And like everything's closed, dude. Like you can't even get food right here. We already walked like 10 blocks.
Oh.
So then we just turned around and walked back. It was like, damn.
It's like Miami.
I mean, I follow this promoter in Miami. I mean, like,
That's
he
cute.
is in a club from like 7 o'clock at night till about 6 o'clock in the morning.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, we
bro.
had a completely different trip than a lot of people down there. Like, me and my girlfriend and 3 friends go down, and we're trying to find places. And, like, obviously everybody went down for the game. So, like, my social media is just filled with all these stories. And I'm like, where are these people at? Because that is not where I'm at. Like, we're at a restaurant that's got, like, a family restaurant, like 10 people in there getting beer. And, like, that's the only place that we can hang out. We walked to another place. It's like, yeah, it's $150 cover. And then when you get in, you can buy a table for $1,500 or you can buy a bottle for $400. And we're like, not this place either. But, like, it just continued all night. And like you said, there's, like, people like 7 a.m., like, it's still in the club and stuff. And I was like, they kicked us out at 12:45. And it was like, I mean, not even close to that.
New Orleans?
New Orleans?
Yeah.
Oh, man. You don't know what you're going to see in that on Bourbon Street.
Shout out, said. Your city smells like piss.
But I remember that when I was there, like, we saw football players the whole time.
Oh.
Like Peyton Mercer and,
boy.
dang it, he was a long snapper.
Oh, Palmer. Dude, he's competing in, like,
Yes,
CrossFit.
no, he's ripped.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, he's super lean.
They
But I remember seeing both of them like every single night down there, just with a whole posse of football
Dude,
guys.
we get there and like our first meeting is always with the police chief of the area, telling us, you know, go here, don't go here. If you need help, call this number, whatever. They're like, number one rule: just try and fit in when you go downtown or when you go down Bourbon Street. Don't wear
Georgia
anything.
shoes, Georgia pants,
Yeah,
Georgia shirt.
don't
Georgia
wear anything
hat.
crazy.
Got it.
Just be a normal person. We're like, okay, bet. We go get our travel bag, and the travel suit they gave us was a bright red with red shoes, and we were like,
Great.
And there's a video of us walking through the street and just 100 of just red jackets walking down the street with Georgia logos on it. We're like, wonder who those guys are. All right, speaking of football, we're going to transition from the World Series and all the good stories we just talked about to the Combine's going on right now.
Nolan Smith. A
Nolan Smith.
4.39 was it?
Well, how about this? The unofficial time was 4.4, and there's a video of him slamming his phone because he was pissed, and then came back and his official time was 4.39
Split was 1-5.
That is
Yeah.
stupid.
after tearing his pec.
That
I
is
love
3
how
months ago.
in the video of everybody watching it in the locker room,
Oh,
like
yeah, we
before
were-
he starts,
we
you hear everybody go 1-5 split, baby, 4-4s. And then it was a 1-5-2 split with a 4-4. It was sick. They just called
Oh
it.
yeah, it was like right after we got done with our walkthrough, and we go in there. They're like, we're all like changing or whatever, and over like we have the TVs hooked to the speakers or whatever. It's like Nolan Smith runs in two, and like after two people, and we all just like swarm to our TVs.
41-inch vert.
Yeah,
41 and a half.
10-8 broad.
He told him, so that Nolan said the story was he lined up for the vertical, and he was telling him, he's like, I'm going to jump 40 inches. And the guy was like, yeah.
Get out of here.
He was like, no, like, seriously, move the bar up because I'm gonna out jump this thing. And he was like,
And he did.
sure. He didn't do it. So the first time he did it, and he out jumped it. And the guy was like, oh, shit, okay, let's do it again. Moves it up and
Apologize, Mr. Smith.
Yeah.
That's why you're where you're at.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That's why
guess
I'm this guy.
I've
move the bar.
always known Nolan was fast, but like I guess I've never seen him like
4.39?
run in a straight line. A 4.39 is crazy.
Also, until you run your own 40, you don't know what 40 times are.
That is
like,
that is especially for his size.
Dude, they lined him up against DeAndre Hopkins and Stephon Diggs, and he dusted both of them.
he's a whole body length in front of Stephon, and then
2
he's
yards in front
two
of
in front of Hopkins.
He has I think he has the fastest 10-yard split of any edge rusher in the draft. In the
How about
class.
Explosive.
Beefy running 4.5?
That was Beefy's a large human being too. If people
Beefy's
like
260 pounds.
70.
That's a lot of weight
think.
moving. That's like the other day
He's-
walking through y'all's locker room, just throwing it indoor and just walked up there. You walk past like the miles an hour
Oh, yeah.
record boards. Guys are moving at like 23. Like, that's nuts. In
Dude.
pads.
Ben Cleveland at
insane.
19.
You
That's
go,
the
you go up
most-
to Robert. You go up to go ahead.
The most impressive thing I've ever seen is Ben Cleveland running a 4.85 at 360 pounds.
When Robert Beal is on, Robert Beal is the closest to blocking Aziz as I've ever blocked. And like you go up and talk to him, he's like, Robert Beal, nice to meet you. And it's just like 260, just it's like not fun.
He's not fun
Those
to
dudes
kick
are-
out either.
I was
Neither is
saying-
Nolan.
How, like, you don't know until you run your own 40. For conditioning a couple times, we had these timed 40s with Gearhart, and we're all like, never ran a 40. We always run 60s in baseball and everything. And so, like, we're running these 40s, and it was like me and Liam, Will. You know how bad of a runner
tough
Will
group.
is.
That's a tough group to be in.
We're conditioning. Like, we have these timers, and like, you can't mess it up. It was like, it's on your hips. As soon as you hit the sensor, it hits. And I remember we bust out the first one like 5-1, 5-2, 5 flat, and we were like, "Hey, is that good?" And he was like, "It was about this time last year. It was combine time," and he was like, "Jordan Davis just ran a 4.7," and we were like,
Well, you can't
"Okay, so
compare
like, is he a
yourself to that.
freak or is like is
this normal?
Is this 5 flat okay or what?" And so we're like, "That's the first one, dude." We ended up we were probably around like 8 or 10 for condition or whatever. I mean, I don't think anybody in that group got under the 4.9 mark.
That's gold. Oh. Speaking of the combine, though, Bobby's got a list of a few players. We're going to talk about like where we think they should go, what team they should go to for the best fit. We'll debate.
Yeah, so we saw a little video on TikTok that we want to try doing, incorporating some of the stuff into some of our shows. So, obviously, big boy Darnell Washington, one of a kind.
He will test himself into the first round.
Really?
Yes.
He's gonna run
A
4.68.
4.59. That's what he got timed out like recently.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Okay, we'll go 4.68. I'm going 4.68. He's gonna jump a 33, and he's gonna broad jump a 10.2.
I got a video of him on a laser running a 4.59.
That makes me feel a whole lot better about myself. I'm just gonna, 'cause
6'8", 275.
playing weight, he's probably 6'8", 290, but like running combine training,
12% body fat.
right now he's probably 10.
Is he unbelievable?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
You look at him and you're like, why am I playing football?
I mean, just like a specimen.
Stud.
He will test himself in the first round.
And like one of the best kids I ever do.
Off of just his playing, where is he supposed to go?
I'd say
Early second.
I'd say if we used him like we should have,
That's what I was gonna say.
he would go first round.
He would be a
didn't.
top 5 pick
If you watch him block, he'll go first round.
There's
I
videos of Kenny McIntosh blocking him.
Kenny's a freak.
Sorry.
There you go. So we got Darnell.
So Darnell, first round.
I think he'll test himself into the first round.
I'll say 20 to 25 probably, and he'll go. There's going to be 3 tight ends off the board in the first round. Dalton Kincaid, who is a pretty good player. Michael Mayer, who's a freak, and then
Okay, you
Darnell.
put Brock Bowers in the draft this year. Where does he go?
first overall.
And he's
There,
Kid's a sophomore.
NFL scouts said if he was draft eligible his freshman year, he would have been a top 5 pick.
I mean, like you
As an
look at this
18-year-old.
kid in street clothes, you're just like,
Yeah, that's what I was
that's the
gonna
most
say, 'cause I've
average
seen him a
human
lot.
ever.
That's his hand turkey.
Yeah,
by
that
the way.
is his hand turkey.
That's what he said his favorite thing about fall was drawing hand turkeys.
Keep playing football, buddy.
Yeah.
It's
a good thing
He's
you're
just
good.
like that's the most humble human being I've
Unbelievable.
ever
But you're
met in
talking
my
about
life.
street clothes. Like, that's what, like, I think, like, it was sometime this year. I had a couple friends from back home that are like huge dog fans, like, come up, and we saw him somewhere, and they're like, "Is that Brock Bowers?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "That kid?"
Yeah, you say that's Brock Bowers, and people are like, no.
I played golf the other day, and it was these 3 guys, and we get to the end of the round, and they're like, "So do you play football at Georgia?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "What? You play tight end?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're
What
like,
position?
"Are you?" Oh, no. Before they even finished, I was like, "I'm not Brock. No, I'm not." And they're like, "Well, damn, we're about to say if we just played golf with Brock Bauer for 17 holes and we just found out." I was like, "Sorry
That's
to
like
bust your bubble, boys."
Your video downtown where the girl's like, "You play football?" And you're like, "Yep." And she's like, "Can I Google you?" "Yep."
Brock
Brock
Bowers.
Bowers.
Yeah, that's awesome. We were at a
And just,
basketball game.
let it roll.
Dude,
Just there.
Darnell, oh my gosh. So we were at a volleyball game, not a basketball game. And it was me, Mims, and Darnell. And we're walking out after the game. There's probably a couple hundred people in the lobby. And Darnell goes, "Hey, this Brock Bowers right here." And a swarm just came up right to me. "Can we get a picture? Can we get a picture?" And I was just like,
Speaking of Darnell,
"Sure."
speaking of
So I took
Darnell,
like
That's
12
sick.
pictures with people thinking I was Brock Bowers.
speaking of Darnell and basketball, that kid could play in the NBA. Have you ever seen him play basketball?
Yeah. They should have played here. Freak.
I was going to a Hawks game and I said I was the kicker.
Oh, electric story. Listen to this. So we get courtside after the game, and we go back to where the players were.
That's dope.
I'm going to kill you.
Courtside?
Yeah,
Damn.
this guy. You play for the Marlins? Big
we'll
guy.
see.
Big time. We'll see. Jack Gowen, not Jack Gowen. But we get behind, like, where the players come out at. We meet one of the players, and this guy comes up, and he's like, yo, y'all play for the Dogs?
Following us and he's like on his phone and he's next to me.
Walking the entire way down. So he follows us all the way down, and we're like, dude, what is this guy doing? Like, it was kind of creepy. He definitely had some beverages, and he starts like going around asking each of us what we play, and so all of us were introducing
He was
ourselves.
like guessing it too.
Yeah,
He was good.
tight end, yeah, tackle, yeah, and he looked at him and he goes,
Who are you? I'm like, Patrick, I'm a kicker. And
I'm
he's like,
Patrick.
oh, my dog, the kicker.
I'm a kicker, my guy. And we were like, yeah, it was awesome. But yeah. So, anyways, back to Darnell. First round, he'll test himself. Top 23 pick probably.
I think he tests himself in the first round just because he's just a. I think based off his potential, he could.
All right, next we got to kind of roll through these because we're not pushed for time, but this has been a long episode, boys. Stetson Bennett, go.
903. Stetson Bennett.
Stetson Bennett, go.
Should or will?
He'd be a good fit for the Ravens.
That's what I said.
Munkin. Ravens maybe, probably not, but probably early day 3 guy from the reports.
Day 3.
Probably going. I mean, dude.
See, the thing with Stetson is he could drop anywhere in this draft.
I agree.
Outside of the first round, he could drop anywhere.
I agree. A team could really like him. A
Yeah,
team
that's what I
could
was going
like
to say. A team could love him.
Yeah.
I'm saying
it
like,
just
he
takes
could-
one guy to like you. That's
He
it.
could go
There's
somewhere
32.
Yeah.
and ball out, and he could also go somewhere and be a phenomenal backup.
Yeah. That's the best job in the NFL. So, yeah,
Best job in the world.
honestly, anywhere.
South Georgia.
Are we getting Buddy and Jack's?
South Georgia in there.
I'm not really too familiar with exactly the days and how long they.
3 days.
6 rounds.
1, 2, and 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay. So, I mean, I'd agree with the 3.
Yeah, I like it how that was.
I
Like,
think he'll sneak in the first.
it could be a late deal, like where somebody's just got to give him a chance. But then again, like, I think there's also, like, between 32 people, somebody's going to really love him.
Got to.
All right, we'll stick with the quarterbacks here. We'll do the last 2 here. I'll just tell you the last 2. You can kind of place them wherever because I want to see where you guys have them. Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud.
First.
Which
Both
one?
of them. I'm going C.J. Stroud.
Oh, I'm just talking first round. I think C.J. Stroud goes first.
CJ Stroud's a dog.
Yeah,
I know.
His game against us,
it's unbelievable.
Okay.
dog.
But Bryce Young, too. Bryce
Yeah.
Young's just a playmaker. Like, there's literally nothing else you can say about it. The guy just makes plays.
I'm calling this move on the draft. Bears are going to trade back to like pick 7, get Jalen for a couple less million, and CJ's going first pick
You think he's going first?
over
pick?
Bryce.
I'm a Bryce Young guy. I mean, like, it's a kind of a thing, like, same thing in baseball. Like, you see all these guys that haven't had the best years, and, like, after they pop out. Like, you have that 1 year.
1 year, dude.
And then you could have 5 bad ones. But, like, I'm in the pros at least. It's like, because you did it that one time, that's the best thing for scouts is they're like, I know he's had 4 bad seasons,
Like-
but do you remember that one?
The thing, he hasn't had a
No,
bad
he
season.
has.
Like,
But he's had that good one.
I've never seen somebody make plays like he does. Like, just, like, what do they say? Quarterbacks making what? Off script or whatever it's called? What am I trying to think of? Make plays.
Off script. Yeah, like just
Like, just
I know what you mean.
they just make shit happen.
Like
Yeah.
extending plays.
Yeah, extending plays.
Like, he gets a pressure.
Like when nothing opens up and there's not
You
a
just
play
find
there, and
something.
then you find a way.
Like,
to
I
make
always
it
hear quarterbacks say, like, oh, we can make the first one miss. Like, I've never seen it more true than him. Like,
Yeah.
if you let one man, like, if their offensive line doesn't touch one person, he will make them miss.
So you think Bryce goes before CJ?
No, just off his height. I think his height will hold him back.
What is he?
6 foot.
Maybe. Probably
That's
a
what he
lot.
measured at.
Probably 5'2".
Which I think
I
helped.
don't even know how like valid that kind of excuse is because it's like they still have him in the top 10. Like he's still going to go top 10 picks. It's like they're not worried too much about his height. So it's like that's how I feel at least. But I
You
mean,
only
I
gotta lose
think
a
that
couple $million
I think CJ
between
almost
those picks.
from what he's done this past
You
year
go from 32 on a signing bonus
kind of
to
would just deserve
CJ
it. a little
Stroud's
more.
a
I guess
baller.
yeah. So
It's crazy how quick the signing bonuses do drop off.
So
Though.
that's
Like,
what
So
I
you go
was-
from like 34 on the first pick to like 6 in the last pick.
Yeah.
See,
So-
like you said, like you don't think how height's a valid reason. I hate it because, like, yeah, he's short, but he can play ball. Like, it's end of the
Yeah.
day, like the kid's a baller.
still been
I
a
don't
quarterback.
care how tall he is.
So you,
One last thing. Anthony Richardson. What do we?
Potential wise, I think he's the best quarterback in the draft. Potential wise, not right now. The dude has an absolute cannon.
he does.
And he can
He's so
run.
raw.
Potential
That's how
wise,
I
he's the
would
best.
say it. One
If
of
you're-
the rawest.
I think he's reckless.
If we are talking about where they could end up, he is the best quarterback in the draft.
Okay. I'm gonna phrase this in a different way in my perspective. He's got
That's pretty good.
he's got the most projectability, but he's got the longest way to go.
100%.
But I mean,
100%. He'll be in the first round, I
Slow
think.
projectability.
Just based off of that, I think he will be. I 100% think.
Buddy.
I think he is. Anthony Richardson is like the Malik Willis of last year's draft, and like the Zach Wilson of the prior year's draft.
Just
Like
a
he is the
ball.
guy who everyone drools about, and then he gets to the league and is irrelevant.
Right.
Buddy, what do you think?
That Zach Wilson stat from last year is nuts.
I kind of agree with Bobby there.
Like 0 for 11 on passes or something, and then he said something about his defense.
Oh yeah, that was insane.
Like
he
I'm saying,
slays though.
Will he ever
Got the-
reach
got
his
the milk in
potential?
the bag, brother.
Maybe not. But if you're looking at potential and what they could be, by far the best quarterback in the draft.
That's crazy.
Not right now, though. He's not.
I think he has a skill set, but I just don't think he has like almost.
See him get moved tight end if he doesn't reach it. If he doesn't come close to it, he'll play tight end in the NFL. He's 6'6". What, 240?
Yeah, he's a big dude.
What do the signing bonuses go? Well, like you were saying, what's the drop off?
It goes from probably low 30s first pick to 10, 8 to 10
That's
on the
like-
32nd, and
Yeah,
then by the second round,
Trayvon signed a $33 million signing bonus.
and like Quay Walker, who went
Vontae
23rd,
signed-
was like 6 point something.
Vontae signed 11.
Okay, so
You know what's crazy about that? Like, I didn't realize like how it was. Vontae said he signed that paper and left with $11 million in his bank account.
Yeah, they
like I
transferred
didn't realize
right
how
away.
fast it was.
Yeah,
He said he looked at his phone when he left and had $11 million in his bank account.
Real Talk, Rank Talk. We're ranking the draft from 1, 2, and 3. So we can all go in order. I'll go 1, 2, 3. You go 1, 2, 3. You go 1, 2, 3. We can pick the same people. That's okay. I'm going Bears trade with somebody. CJ Stroud goes first. Bryce Young goes second. And then I'm going to go Will Anderson third. So CJ, Bryce, Will Anderson.
You think? Never mind. I know why you're. Never mind.
I will say this. The best player in the draft is not going to get picked first. But
Never goes that way.
It's
I like.
and it's because of shit that happens.
Stupid.
Yeah.
yeah.
I like Bryce Young. I feel like I don't know C.J. Stroud or follow it as much just because we only
Yeah.
just different teams. I asked what Will Anderson's last name was before that because of all the stuff. I mean, it's hard not to follow him. And then, I mean, hell, if C.J. Stroud's as good as you guys are saying, I'll take y'all's word on it.
You're going Bryce, Will, CJ.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go CJ,
Attaboy.
Bryce.
Attaboy.
I'm gonna say screw it. I'm gonna go Jalen Carter.
I love it. I like it.
If we're going off who should be,
Unanimous, the first pick overall is Jalen Carter. I think that's pretty.
but it won't
pretty much
If Darnell runs at 4.5, then yeah.
but it won't happen because of.
because of stupid stuff.
I don't
but
even want to get started on that.
Yeah,
This pisses me off.
Tough.
Shit. I could do something. Should I do something for the content?
do it.
CJ Stroud,
Yep.
Anthony Richardson. For the content, just to get a rise out of people.
Like his rise. He must fell out of his seat.
Yeah.
See, it's gonna get people fired up and call me a dumbass.
Who's third?
on TikTok. That'll go viral for sure.
Who's
Yeah.
third?
Third, I'm gonna go Will Anderson.
I like it. Who's the first tackle off the board?
Peter
Harris
Skrinsky.
or
Peter Skrinsky.
really?
Where's he at?
North
Northwestern.
Dakota or Northwestern? Yeah, second guy.
Freak.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Northwestern?
Yeah. A team
I
that
mean,
went 1-11,
I was
think.
on the same team as him at the All-American game. We just saw him there. We're like, holy shit, this kid's good.
Here's something. How's the talent level dropped from SEC schools to
lot.
Northwestern? Because in baseball,
lot.
anybody can have a guy that's throwing 95.
Yeah, it's not. So
See,
it's
that's-
that's the thing. It's not necessarily the speed of the game. It's the physicality. Of the
Like
game.
Pitt has the second. Like Pitt University has the second best defense tackle in the draft, and you would never think that.
You think
like,
you just but those guys develop while they're there into that, or you just
Yeah.
get missed?
or it's they want to go to school there. It's I don't know.
feel
Every
like
team
in these
every
days,
team's
though-
got Kent State
Yeah.
had a nose man who was a freak,
Yeah.
good, and you don't expect it, but every team's got somebody that's
It's depth and physicality.
Right, but here's the thing: you guys you take last year's team and go play Georgia Southern 10 times.
we beat them every single time.
You beat them 10 times. We go play Georgia Southern 10 times. Yeah, well, I mean we're at the University of Georgia. You take our average year team. I mean we're going to be better in every position pretty much. But we go play Georgia Southern or Kennesaw 10 times, and I mean we might win 6, 7.
But I feel like
and
it's
that's
a-
going to be pretty good.
I
That's
feel
just
like
the
it's a
difference
completely different
between the
conversation with
sides.
baseball.
I
That's
agree.
what I'm saying.
Anybody in my opinion, in baseball, anybody can beat anybody on any given day. Football, it's. I mean,
It's they just
You
can't,
have your bad
they
day,
can't
y'all
match up with us
still-
physicality wise.
our bad game this past year,
Kent State,
Kent State
we
or
played bad.
Missouri,
Missouri.
out the gate, maybe.
Oh my god.
But still, you got
That
physical
Missouri
when you
game
get
was
to. It wasn't like it
hell.
was
Yeah.
a lack of. They just almost beat you.
I bet
Hell.
it was.
That game was insane.
Hell,
I bet it was.
Dude, it's the
I bet
loudest
it was
crowd I've
pretty
ever heard in my
quiet.
entire. No, it was the loudest crowd I've ever heard in my entire life.
other than the Georgia-Tennessee game, other than our
Other
game
than
against
that
Tennessee. I mean, I'm talking like that
And
place
that
is
stadium maybe seats
rocking.
40,000.
Rocking.
I think it was the Notre Dame game in Athens
With the
was
lights.
with
For
the flyover and everything.
I was at that game.
We,
That game was
we
sick.
broke the decimal record. It was like compared to 2 twin jet turbos
And we
at
broke
like 10 feet or
we
something.
broke that one, the Tennessee game.
See, but I was in the student section for that Notre Dame game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I was
makes it
sitting in
different.
regular seats for the other one. It's different, like in the end zone, but also because the flyover came right over us.
Yeah.
It's like, and you don't even know it if like we were talking. You know how the student section is. And then it's just like,
The whole place rumbled.
Yeah.
I remember Coach Searles was trying to have a conversation with us on the sideline, like trying to make adjustments because we were in 4 minutes just trying to run the clock out. He's over there
While
having
it's
to
raining.
like write sentences on the whiteboard and like show it to us because we just can't hear what he's saying. Like there's just no shot.
That
y'all
game was
know y'all's
electric.
favorite game to end it on. Or favorite moment, obviously, it's got to be Natty. But like, what if a game sticks out?
That game didn't
Yeah.
even feel like we won a natty.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
I know,
agree.
but-
My coolest, the running
Coolest
out of the
place, like something like that.
My most memorable story of running out of a tunnel or listening to a stadium will be the Georgia Tech game, last home game, senior day. Because, dude, we ran out. So we did our senior thing, and there were guys getting emotional that I've never seen get emotional, so that was hard. And then we go back in the locker room, and we run out, and most of the seniors were in the front. And we get down there, and I was like just taking it all in. And then everybody goes down, takes a knee, send some prayers up, and then I get up, and me and Kenny Mack I always like stand at the end and like dap everybody up before they walk to the sideline, and then Kenny's always the last one, and we always dap each other up and say something to each other. And he got within like 10 feet of me, looked up, and was just bawling, crying.
Yeah.
And I lost it. Like me and him just hugged each other for like 2 minutes, just bawling, crying. And then I was a wreck until after kickoff, but that was my most memorable one.
Kept the helmet on, huh?
I did. I went down and sat on the bench. I had like people kind of trying to come up and like hug me and stuff, and I was like, just stop, like just let me just
Give me a minute.
Yeah. But that was my most memorable. First, well, I guess next to Missouri, but we were losing after the first quarter in that one. That was the only.
We were losing until the fourth quarter.
They were taking shots.
Tech. I thought you were talking about Missouri. Like, Missouri, we were losing in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, but that's my favorite because that was just that was a cool little send off.
Yeah.
Mine, probably the Ohio State game after we scored. The first play we ran a screen, and I probably should have got called for holding, but I get a hold of their safety, pull them back into me, and just pile drive them. And I just remember that place just going insane. And I like stood up, just started looking around, just threw my hands up. That's probably mine.
As a
Electric.
fan, I got the Notre Dame game was sweet. I went to the national championship in 18 and actually snuck our way into, I think it's called Molly B's. It's like the bar restaurant in the end zone.
Yeah.
So me and my principal go, we got the $1,000 tickets.
You and your principal.
Yeah. He signed me out of school at like 12.
That's awesome.
And he's like, where's your stuff? And I was like, what are you talking about? He just calls me over intercom. Like, go get your stuff. We're going to Atlanta. It's 5 hours away. This game starts at 6. So, I mean, we were booking it. So, we're running in. Like, we finally get up there, like, in nosebleeds. We sit in our own seats for, like, I don't know, half of a quarter. And then we get out, walk around, like, go in some boxes, like, just kind of blend in. People start looking, like, we'd get out, go to another box. Went and sat at the 50, like, 10 rows up until somebody came and got us. Sneak our way into the restaurant bar type thing, like right in the end zone, right when we got the sack. It's like 3rd and 18, and we're all celebrating. Like people
We're
are doing
second and
beer
18,
showers,
yeah.
and we're like shaking like random strangers, and like you look up and the ball is coming at us, and we were like, touchdown, confetti falls, and like I mean we're right off our sack celebration, so it sucked, but that game was sweet.
That was a cool game. But the
It's
close
a
is
little
out for the
different.
evening.
I'm gonna go our freshman year when we played in Jordan Hare at Auburn, and Dom caught the Hail Mary
I was in the student section at Auburn in that game.
across the
I
middle,
didn't
and he
make the
dove
trip.
right in the end zone. We were sitting in. That was awesome.
That was that was cool watching him play in that year.
That's
was
actually
cool.
my favorite experience as a fan. I'm in their student section. Y'all's Georgia's sideline is to their student section, and Coach Pittman, I'm sitting like 15 rows up from where the offensive line's meeting. I'm already committed at this point. I'm wearing like a bright red shirt with a G on it, like getting dog cussed the whole game by all their fans. I'm like, see Coach Pittman, I'm like, he looks up, he's like, I'm like
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That place rocks. All right, boys. Appreciate y'all being on.
yeah, I'm in the Jordan Herald.